All right, so let's go ahead and jump in today for our class. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وتم التسليم على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى أصحابه الغر الميامين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم اجعلنا منهم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا متقبلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Him. We acknowledge that He is the only one worthy and deserving of all praise and thanks. We ask Him to shower His most complete and abundant blessings and protection upon His noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, upon His noble family, upon His shining companions, and upon all of those that follow them until the end of time. We ask Allah to include us from among them. We ask Allah to teach us what will benefit us, to benefit us through what He has taught us, and to increase us in knowledge and accepted actions. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope everybody is doing okay this morning. Before we start class today, I wanted to just take a moment to acknowledge that yesterday was a rather dark day for the Muslim Ummah, especially here in America, with the taking of an innocent life of an Imam, Muslim brother, at the hands of the government. And so just wanted to take some time for us to all remember to make dua for this individual. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to admit him into the highest levels of Jannah without any account. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give patience to all those whom he benefited, all those who benefited from him, and all those who loved him and knew him personally. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to deal with the oppressors in a manner that is suited best for them, both in this life and in the hereafter. Ameen. I am comforted and reminded of the ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the end of Surah Ibrahim says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولا تحسبن الله غافلا عما يعمل الظالمون. By the end of this semester, all of you will be able to perfectly translate that entire ayah. Do not think for a second that Allah is ignorant of what the wrongdoers do. He's just giving them time. He's just giving them some respite until a day wherein their eyes will blankly stare in horror and terror and fear. So obviously things like these are frustrating. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be the first time that this country has put an innocent person has murdered an innocent person in the name of justice. But all of these are ayat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not heedless, is not ignorant, is not ignoring what these individuals are perpetrating. There's multiple discussions amongst the scholars on what is the most hopeful ayah in the Quran and what is the most scary ayah in the Quran. And obviously everybody has their own difference of opinion. There's not really any fruit of that discussion. There's plenty of ayat about hope, plenty of ayat about fear. But then some scholars discuss that one of the most scary verses and hopeful, scary for the people who are oppressive and wrongdoing, and hopeful for those who want to ensure that no dhulm goes unaccounted for, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, basically that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not forget, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not one to neglect or forget those things that happen in the past. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive all of us for not doing enough. And if we have done anything inadvertently to perpetrate these things, perhaps using our privilege wrongfully, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to not take us to account for that as well. Ameen. So with that, let's go ahead and put all of our materials away and get out a sheet of paper for our weekly quiz. Our schedule for today is that we will start off with our quiz as we usually do. After that, we will do some basically review of all of the stuff that we have covered so far in this season. I'll also be walking around passing back your quizzes. I have two quizzes that do not have a name on them. So if you go into your grade book and you check your grades and you have a 0, even though you're positive that you took the quiz, just let me know. Because there are two quizzes that do not have names on them, so I didn't put them in. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Part A is translating from English to Arabic. You are going to put the vowels on your answer. Part B is voweling and translating. So for numbers 8 through 10, you're going to write down the question, you're going to put the appropriate vowels on them, and then you're going to write out an English translation. If anything is vague in English, like they, make sure you put the gender, make sure you put both if you think it's dual, all if you think it's plural, all of that good stuff. Okay. So part A, you do not need to write the question. I saw that last week. A lot of people wrote out the question and then translated it. For all those English sentences, you just need to write down the translation. For part B, you do need to write down the question and the translation as well. Okay. Prostrated meaning the one that says bowing head to the ground. That's a little bit of a clunky translation, so this is just a bit cleaner. Yes, if there is an option to if there is an option that basically it could be translated in multiple ways, then write each one of them. But what I was mentioning earlier was that if the translation of any of them is vague in English, then you write out the gender, write out both or all or etc.
On number five, is it singular or plural?
Number five is singular. Yeah, if it was plural, it would be there would be some word like all or something like that there.
Uh,
So what do you mean by vowel exactly?
Sorry, what was that?
What do you mean by vowel exactly?
Vowel means to put the harakat on there. So putting the
Got it.
hamma, kasra, etc.
Chiharsha, did we explain anything about the present tense and the present continuous tense? Like yasma'ani. Is it present continuous tense or is it present tense?
What do you mean by present continuous?
Like, do I give ing or do I say
Oh, I see. Yeah. So in English, you can do in any way where it's present, whether that's present continuous or present. In Arabic, they're the same. Whether you have the ing or not, as long as you're conveying that it's something either happening right here, right now, or in the future.
so I wouldn't lose anything if I say ing or without ing?
As long as it's clear what tense you're talking about.
Okay.
Let's take just a couple more minutes. All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up, get things turned in. Okay. Everybody in person good? All right, for our folks online, make sure it's in by 7:55. You guys have just a minute longer just to get all that tech sorted out. How was this? Good? Was it a bit tougher than last time or pretty still straightforward? Pretty straightforward? We're all doing okay?
No, no, it was hard.
Thank you for being honest. Everyone else is just like, yeah, it's easy.
Keep in mind, like recognize and not recognizing, just keeping the tense in mind.
Yeah, that can be a tough aspect of it for sure. It's also interesting because I feel like in teaching Arabic, you also find out which people struggle with English. Because some people are just like, wait, but that's, and it's like, no, that is a different tense. Okay, let's go ahead and do some more practice of what we covered last time. We're gonna look at drill 4 in the book. This is on page 12, and we're gonna modify it a little bit so that we're working with both Madi and Mudari'. And then we're gonna cover some new concepts in a little bit as well. All right, drill 4, construct the following af'al using the fi'l and inside pronoun provided. First one's done as an example, and also convert the verb into al-fi'l al-mudari'. So number 1 says darasa. The pronoun they give you is huma. We know that the pronoun huma intrinsically, if you just have huma without any sort of context, it could be huma masculine or it could be huma feminine. So that's why they're giving us two options, darasa and darasata. I also want to convert both of these into my fi'l mudari'. So if I take darasa, they both masculine studied, and make it into they both masculine study or are studying, I'm going to go ahead and write Yad Rusani. Or also, if I change it into feminine to make it they both feminine study, it's going to be good. Tadrusani. Make sense? All right. So let's go ahead and loop around the room. Grant, take us through the second question. Give us both our Madi and our Mudari'.
The Madi is Arakna,
Good.
and the Mudari'a is Na'arifu.
Good, perfect. عرفنا and نعرف. Number 3, طيب. Give us our Madi and our Mudari'.
It's going to be Kef كفلت.
Good.
And then Yefuru is going to be yet Tekfuru, yeah. Yefuru, Tekfuru.
Close. This is antum, not antunna.
Oh, Tekfurun.
Takfuruna. Good. Insha, number 4. Good. سألتنا for my ماضي. What about my مضارع? Close. Gotta double check the haraka on the middle root letter there. Our verb is سأل يسأل يسئل يسأل. تسألاني. Good. تسألاني. تسألاني. Nurjan, number 5.
قرأت
Good.
and تقرأ
تقرأ. Good. What conjugation is here in the mudari' identical to?
Anta.
Anta. Good. That will always be the case. In the mudari' here and anta will be the same. They will look the same. Rama, number 8.
7.
Oh, sorry. We're skipping 6. So we don't know how to do qala yet. And yes, sorry, number 7. Good. Good. Excellent. And Rama, how would I translate both of these? How would I translate khalaqati and how would I translate takhluqina? Good. Good, good, good. Number 8, Salma. Good. I've got dakhaltum and tadkhuluna. Beautiful. Mash'al, number 9.
we
Katabna. Good. And then what about my mudari'? Yaktubna. Good. Yaktubna. Excellent. Number 10, Samira. Ja'ala plus ana. So if I had ja'altum, that would be antum, you all. I want to do ana, me. Close. You're going to look at your chart and you're going to go all the way down to ana, the second to last box. The last row all the way to the right. Ja'altu, perfect. Ja'altu. Good. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip over to my mudari' chart and look for that same box in the same location. Last row, all the way to the right. So that's still in the mudari'. Sorry, that's still in the Maldi. We want to go to the Mudari' chart now, the present tense chart. So the present tense chart will add letters to the beginning and sometimes the end as well. So we want to flip over to our chart for the Mudari'. And we're going to look towards that same location. Second to last box. The last box is what? So we're gonna be looking at, so this is our fi'l mudari' chart, right? I'm gonna be looking at this box right here, second to last. So here I have the verb af'alu, af'alu. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap out my letters, my root letters. Instead of fa, ain, lam, I'm gonna put jim, ain, lam. All I have to do is change this one to a jim. And then I'm going to go to my vocab list and I'm going to say, okay, what haraka does my middle root letter get in the mudari' for ja'ala? Ja'ala yaj'alu. Ja'ala yaj'alu. So I'm going to basically keep this hamza there. And then pretty much all I have to do, just because this example is a bit easier, swap this fa out for a jim. That's it. Instead of af'alu, I get aj'alu. Does that make sense how we got there?
Yeah, it does. I just think we need to change the letter.
Changing the letters? Yeah. So in this chart, everything, actually, I think we did it, it was a bit easier to see when we did it up here. All right, this is our chart right here. I guess I didn't do it. All right, this chart here is the same as the chart here, right? Same chart. Everything that has a fa, ain, and lam, that is going to be what switches out with the verb. So if I have yaf'alu and instead I want to do yaj'alu, the ya is going to stay the same. Only my fa, ain, and lam are going to switch out for what the new letters of my new verb are. Everything else is the same. And then what we have in red, which is only the haraka that goes on the middle root letter, that is also going to change depending on whatever my vocab list tells me. If my vocab list says nasara yansuru, instead of a fatha here, I'm going to put a dhamma. So yaf'alu becomes yansuru. Yansurani, yansuruna. So I'm swapping my root letters, not all the letters. So my ya is still staying the same. My ta is still going to stay the same, right? My beginning of my first letter is going to stay the same. Only my root letters are what swap out. Does that make sense what I mean by root letter? So just those three key components of the verb that make this verb separate from the verb. All right. Any other questions on that, Samira? Number 11, Amira. Good. Baddu and a'budu. Good. Number 12, Isa. Good.
Then for Mudari' would be yadhhabna.
Yadhhabna. Good. How do I translate both of these?
For the Madi, it would be they all feminine went. And then for Mudari', it would be they all feminine are going.
Perfect. Number 13, Sardar. Sajada plus nahnu.
سجدت.
That would be أنا. I want to do نحن.
Oh, sorry. سجدنا.
Good. سجدنا.
السجود.
That's still أنا.
Oh, sorry.
نسجد.
I also my seven step on the piece.
That's okay. نسجد. Sardar, tell me what's the difference between sajadna and sajadna? What's the difference between sajadna and sajadna?
One of them is for Nahnu,
Mm-hmm.
the one is for the female all.
Good. They or you? They all or you all? They. Good. One is for nahnu, one is for hunna. You all, sorry, they all feminine. They all feminine. Excellent. Number 14, Malik. ذهبت ذهبتن. Good. Try it one more time.
Oh, have it hopefully. And okay, when we
All right, so in the mudari', we don't have any shadda to indicate feminine plural. In the maldi, we do. We have the antunna, we have the habitunna, etc. Nasartunna, sajadtunna, right? We have that noon with the shadda. In the mudari', no shadda. تذهبنا. تذهبنا.
The question about that.
Mhm.
When you're not reading Quran, like how much tajweed are you speaking with? Like tadhabna or is it tadhabna? Like when you're speaking, like saying words.
Like, are you putting a qalqala on the
Yeah.
ba? I mean, there's an element of it naturally coming out, because the ba is a letter that's hard to say with a sukun if you don't do a qalqala, but there's no like no need to exaggerate it. Sometimes I will, just so that students will like get it clear that is dhahabitun. Right, I'll do that in there. But normally speaking, there's not much of those rules being brought out. Number 15, Muhammad.
It would be semi and yes معونة.
Good. Sami'u and oops. And yasma'una. Yasma'un. Good. Are you two cousins or brothers? Cousins. Okay, great. That would be kind of interesting if there were two Muhammads in the same family. All right. 16, Abdurrahman. Alimta. Good. One more time. تعلم. Good. Number 17, Saad. Try the Maldi one more time. That would be antum, but I have antuma. عملتما. And then what's my mudari'? تعملان. So I've got the fact that ta'amalani is my is my conjugation for antuma. Ta'amalani is also my conjugation for what other pronouns? Feminine what? Feminine entuma, good. Assuming this is the masculine entuma, what else? And for the feminine huna, good. Ahmed DJ, 18.
Balena. And Balenan, Yoginan.
All right, so this is the assumption that this is, sorry, masculine. Good. And then what would my answer be if this was feminine? Dalzalimani, good. And then what about my Maldi? Zalamata, good. Number 19, Muhammad Fardeen.
أكلت.
أكلت.
Yeah, أكل. No. أنت. أكل. I didn't get that.
You're close, right? You have the fact that it's past the first 5 boxes, right? We're on anta. This, you're basically just gonna slap this ending on here. Now the sukun.
أكلت.
Akelta.
Yeah, I said that, but I was a little confused.
Oh, sorry, I heard tum. I heard akeltum.
No.
Akelta. And then what's my mudari gonna be?
أكلت. تأكلون.
Take out the una. That would be antum.
Oh, yeah. تأكل.
Close.
تأكل.
تأكلون. تأكلون. Okay. Also, just want to take a moment to check in. Is everybody okay with me doing the 2 dots as a line? Does everybody know what that means? Okay. So I remember there was a year wherein I was writing like that the whole entire time, and something insane like after the midterm like middle of the semester, someone was like, what is that? Like, what does that mean? And I was like, oh no. And they didn't understand what that was the entire semester, basically. The entire half of the semester. So I just wanted to double check. Huh?
We learned that last week before.
Okay, great. Excellent.
Half the longest.
Yeah. I know some people make it a little bit like more distinguishing by doing like a this, but whatever.
Especially when it comes to like that or anytime there's like a hamza in the middle of a word. Or maybe not since it has but like how do you know when the hamza in the middle of the word when you do like the little thing?
The little thing meaning
like that little thing line of words but like the knowledge.
Oh, what, like when it's basically sitting on a ya as opposed to sitting on a waw or alif?
Like in Malaika, like the way that
it's sitting on a yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, so it's there's a lot of rules regarding how to write hamza. So kind of a general rule of thumb. This is again general rule of thumb, doesn't apply in all situations. Is that generally speaking, if you have a hamza that is voweled, it will sit on the parent letter of what its vowel is. So if it's, with a fatha, it's going to be sitting on an if it's up. It has a kasra, it's going to be sitting on a ya. Well, I'm sitting on a waw. This doesn't always apply. And if it's a sukooned hamza, then it will sit on the seat of the haraka that precedes it. So if it's a sukoon, but the letter before is a dhamma, it's going to sit on a waw. If it's a sukoon and the letter before it is a fatha, it's going to sit on an alif. If it's a sukun and the letter before is a kasra, it's going to sit on a ya. So again, these rules are not like, they're kind of just like helpful tools. There's a ton of exceptions to this, but it can be beneficial to figure it out that way. My suggestion at this stage is that it's easier, instead of trying to figure out the rules, to just memorize the spelling, because there are so many exceptions with this. But when we have a hamza as the middle, as the first root letter, as the middle root letter, as the last root letter, those, depending on where the hamza is, they all have different rules. And that's why it's its own chapter in the irregular sarf book. It's called mahmuz, al-fi'lul mahmuz, hamzated verbs. So that'll come in the summer. But yeah, it kind of, I've been suggesting for the longest time that the book 2 should not have any hamzated verbs, and it should also not have any weak letter verbs. So like qala and ba'a, that comes in the irregular sarf book. It's not appropriate to be in this book. Same thing with akala, sa'ala, akhadha. They all come in this book, but the actual rules will come later. All right. And Siraj, take us through 20.
نصروا
Good.
ينصرون
What was the mudari one more time?
ينصرون
Check the haraka on the middle root letter.
ينصرون
Yansuruna. Nasara yansuru. Yansuruna. Yansuruna. All right. We all feeling comfortable with drill 4? Pretty good, right?
Just real quick on number 18, on the second part, the present tense, did you put a kasra under lam?
Yes.
Okay, so like how I would have thought to put a fatha there. Like why do we have a?
Yeah. So when it comes to the haraka that goes on the middle root letter, I'm gonna have to go all the way up to my vocab list. And I'm gonna have to see, okay, because sometimes it's yaktubu, ya'malu, yakulu, ya'budu. They all are different. So it's completely memorization based. So I'm gonna need to go to my vocab list for zalama and pinpoint what haraka goes on my middle root letter. So it's just a memorization rule. There's no rhyme or reason why we're putting a kasra instead of a dhamma or a fatha. It's just that's the way the word is spelled, basically. So we have to memorize what our mudari conjugations are, because that'll help us determine what haraka I put on my middle root letter.
Okay, so when we're like moving around for like, let's say we're just conjugating in present tense, we only like whether I say I help, you helped, or I help, they help, they're all helping. I just use this middle word, right?
So it depends on what tense you're using, because I heard a few different tenses in the one you gave. You say if you're using I helped, they helped, you helped, she helped. If you're using the same tense, then yeah, you're going to use the same middle root letter haraka for all of them. It's going to be nasara, nasara, nasaru, nasarat, nasarata, nasarana, our whole entire Maldi chart.
Okay.
If I'm doing something on the other hand where it's mudari', I am helping, you are helping, she is helping, they are helping, we are helping, then I'm going to look at this conjugation, my mudari' conjugation. Yansuru, yansurani, yansuruna, tansuru, tansurani, yansurna, etc.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions on this drill? All feeling good about it? Okay. Let's do a couple of these and then we'll move to something else. These are all Maldi just because we're in the Maldi chapter. So we'll write out whatever the Maldi translation is, and then we'll just also do a quick conversion to Mudari' as well. Okay. Rania, take us through number 1. She studied.
And then studies, darasa, درست.
درست. Good. درست. Good. Number 2, they asked, Grant, take us through number 2. If they don't give you a gender, assume masculine, and if they don't give you any sort of both or something like that, or two, then assume plural.
I thought I heard you say we're gonna do both. Are we just doing the past or are we just doing?
Oh yeah, let's do the present tense as well. Rania, take us through what's darasat in the mudari'. One more time, I can't hear you. It is with a ta in the front. And what's my haraka on the middle root letter? Dhamma. So say it one more time. Tadurusu. Good. Darasat tadurusu. Good. Grant, they asked.
Sa'alu
Good.
and yes, aluna.
Good. Sa'alu and yas'aluna. Perfect. Number 3, Tayyib, I studied.
It would be darastu and adrusu.
Good. Darastu and adurusu. Great. Number 4, we did, Insha. Perfect. Fa'alna and naf'alu. Nurjan, number 5, both of you studied.
Darasa.
Close. That would be both of them studied.
Both darastuma
Darastuma. Good.
and tadrusan.
Good. Darastuma and tadrusani. Yeah.
Is there a difference between fa'ala and amala?
Yeah. So they're similar. They're synonyms. You could use either one. Fa'ala means more just plain old to do something, whereas amila indicates more effort to work on something. Like if I'm going to work, if I'm working on the cabinets, if I'm working on something like that, that's something more that you would use amila for. Whereas fa'ala would be more like just plain old like something that you are doing. Like I did the dishes, I did the laundry, something like that. All of you wrote Rama. Good. كتبتم. And our mudari' would be تكتبون. تكتبون. Number 7, Selma.
You worship.
Here it looks like it is saying you are. This might be a typo, or maybe it's not. This is mudari'. You feminine worship sounds like mudari' to me. So ta'budna would be plural, but here it's no indication of you all. Good. One more time. Close. Add a noon to the end.
I'm confused.
So you feminine is what pronoun? Anti. Good. Ta'budina. 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 Good. And then what would my Maldi be? My Maldi.
Sorry.
In my Maldi, I don't add letters to the beginning. Good. عبدتي. That make sense? Yeah. Okay, number 8, Isa, we heard.
سمعنا.
Good. سمعنا is my maldi, we heard. نسمع, we are hearing or we hear. Number 9, Sardar, they feminine oppress. Also probably a typo, but we'll go along with it. Is this maldi or mudari? Just they oppress.
First is the bottom.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do for past tense first. Okay.
It sounds like this is they oppress, sounds like it's present tense to me, as opposed to they oppressed.
We're not doing both, but I don't know.
Yeah, but for now, let's do with what's written first, and then we'll do the. Close, very close. All your letters are correct, but just double check your haraka on the middle root letter. Good. يظلمنا. يظلمنا. Okay, and then in theory, what would be our past tense? ظلمنا. Good. Great. Number 10, Malik. Both of them wrote. That would be both of you.
You said both of them. Oh, no. Both of them.
كتبتما is still you both. Both of you. I want both of them.
The first time I said Ketabetuma, the second time I said Ketabetuma.
Which are the same.
The same.
Yes. So it was wrong the first time, it was wrong the second time. Both of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to what I know about my fi'l madi chart. And I'm going to go through the chart until I get to my dual masculine third person. Dual masculine third person. What's my verb to write?
I'm sorry?
What's my verb for to write?
Oh, to raise.
Good, kataba. Go through the kataba chart, Malbi.
Are you sure it's not Ketabetuma?
I am positive. What's my conjugation after kataba?
Conjugation after Ketaba. It would be Ketaba. Okay, it would be Ketaba, Ketabani, Ketabani, Ketaba, Ketabani.
Kataba, kataba, katabu, katabat, katabata, katabana. This is 2 weeks ago's homework. Okay.
Oh,
So I'm going to go through that chart in my head. I don't have to go that far. I have to go to just the second box.
second box. Ketaba.
Yes, kataba. Does that make sense how we got to that answer?
Yes.
Any questions?
There's 3 different parts, right?
Yes, we have done 3 charts so far. We've done 1 chart, which is just the pronouns. We've done one Maldi chart and one Mudari chart. This is my Maldi chart. Yeah. So the key is being able to take this aspect, this element, and translate this into what box does this fall under? Okay. How do I get from both of them to the correct translation? I could do this a number of ways. Both of them, I could first identify what pronoun that is. Both of them is huma, masculine. Okay, huma, masculine. So I could do a few different things. I could then go to my pronouns chart and see where does huma, masculine fall. It's in the first row, the middle box. So with that in mind, I'm going to then pull up my Maldi chart, look at that same location, first row, middle box. That's what's going to be giving me my answer. I could also, if that's a little bit too difficult, I could just break this down into both of them. So I know it's dual. I'm going to assume it's masculine. And because it says them, I know it's third person. So I could also just look at the labeling on my chart, right? This is Mudari, but I could do the same thing with the Maldi because the rows and columns are all the same. So I could look at dual, I could look at third person, I could look at masculine, and then identify which box that is that way as well. Okay. All right. Dare I ask you to hypothetically say what the Mudari is?
A Mudari.
Yes.
Mudari meaning future.
Yeah, present / future.
That would be yaktubani.
Good. Yaktubani. Kataba, and the Mudari becomes yaktubani. All right, Muhammad, both of them feminine red. Both of them feminine red. What was that? I guess you could read it both ways. Let's do red. Good. Qara'ata. And then hypothetically, what would be my mudari'? Good. You were right the first time. Qara'a yaqra'u taqra'ani. Okay. Number 12, Muhammad, both of you read. Sorry, Abdurrahman. Qara'tuma. And then what would be my mudari'? Taqra'ani, same thing, right? So notice that 11 and 12, the mudari' would be the same. Mudari' would be the same. Number 13, Samira, I knew. Or actually, you did Anna last time. Let's have Mash'al do 13. Good. Alimtu. And then hypothetically, what would be my mudari'? A'lamu. Perfect. Excellent. All right. Samira, take us through 14. He went. The verb for to go? Anybody, what's our verb for to go? Dhahaba, yadhhabu, dhahaban. Good. Dhahabna would be we went. He sounds like what conjugation? Or sorry, what pronoun? Is it huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna? What pronoun is he? Huma is they both. I'm just talking about hua. Perfect. Hua. All right. Which box, or you're looking at your pronouns chart? Okay. Which box is hua? Where is it located? What number box is it? Is it the first? Is it in the upper right corner? It's the very first one. It is the very first one. Excellent. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my Maldi chart. And I'm going to look at also my very first box. So don't worry about switching out the letters yet. Just tell me what you have in your first box. Fa'ala, good. So I'm just going to keep my word fa'ala here for a moment. All right. So as we wrote down last time, this conjugation right here, my lam is going to switch. Sorry, that's kind of hard to see. My lam is going to switch. My ayn is going to switch. And my fa is going to switch. And what else? My haraka on the middle root letter is going to switch. So everything that's a little bit bolded, I'm going to swap out for something else, but everything else remains the same. Meaning what? I don't add any letters to the front. I don't add any letters to the end. My first letter will have a fatha. My last letter will have a fatha. So when I'm trying to tackle he went, I already know two things. I know I'm going to have one fatha in the front. I know I'm going to have one fatha in the end. So now what I do is I go to my vocab list to look for go. To go is ذهب يذهب ذهابا. So I'm going to take this. This is going to be my key. This word is going to tell me what my letters are and also what haraka I put on the middle root letter. So I know my root letters are dhal, ha, and ba, and my middle root letter has a fatha. So I'm going to scroll back down here to my question. So I know I've got this here, and I know I've got this here. I'm just going to plug in the rest of my root letters and the fact that I have a fatha on the middle. So he went is dhahaba. Does that make sense how we did that? Yeah. Any questions on that? Go ahead.
So I find something to memorize words I can fix for someone maybe it's not useful for them. I'm trying to
Share what?
I found a way to memorize the words.
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
So I record my voice and I repeat each word like 5 times or 6 times, like with that and it's become like 5 minutes record and I listen every time when I drive or walk or sit and
that's good.
I was repeating the numbers.
No, that's great. That is an excellent idea. So if anybody that works for recording yourself and then listening to it while you do stuff, it's a great idea. Any questions on the number 14, Samira?
So that would be it then?
No, that's the right answer. Dhahaba, he went. That is it. All right. Amira, take us through 16. She disbelieved. Good. Kafarat. And then hypothetically, what would be my mudari'? Good. DJ 17. سألنا. Close. Yes, Elna. Yes, Elna. Good. 18, Sarah, both of them feminine asked. That would be both of you. One more time. Close. Very close. What's my dual conjugation for huma? Feminine. Sa'alata. You have to make sure you have a fatha on the last root letter. Sa'alata. Sa'alata. All right. Number 19, Muhammad Fardeen.
سألتم.
Good. Sa'altum. And then hypothetically speaking, what would be my mudari'?
I was gonna ask you to do the for the dhahaba so I could learn this, but we didn't get the time. For the dhahaba, can you do it for the dhahaba?
Number 14,
Yeah.
do the mudari'?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so we would do the same thing where I go to the fact that this is my huwa conjugation. So I'm going to be looking at my first box. First box in Maldi is dhahaba. Same thing. First box in mudari' is going to be yadhhabu. Yadhhabu.
Okay, got it. So سألتم. تسألون.
Tas'aluna. Good. Tas'aluna. Perfect. 20, Siraj.
20. سألتن and تسألن.
What was the mudari' one more time?
Said سألتن and تسألن.
Good. All of you feminine ask sa'altunna. And then our mudari' in theory would be tas'alna. Okay, let's go through the last, let's just finish off this page. Let's do it orally, okay? 21, we listened is Sami'na. Sami'na. Number 22, you listen, let's assume masculine is Sami'ta. 23, you feminine, Sami'ti. Okay, why are all of these listened? 24, she listened, Sami'at. 25, I listened, Sami'tu. 26, they entered, Dakhalu. Dakhalu. Okay. How are we feeling about this? I know they call it drills for a reason because they're really supposed to drill the concept, so it can be kind of dry, but it's important. Yeah.
For me personally, it makes it way easier if I'm like talking it out,
Mhm.
verbally.
Yeah,
So are we allowed to just mumble to ourselves during quizzes?
sure. As long as no one can hear you. But yes, you can mumble to yourself. You can whisper to yourself. Okay, let's go ahead and take a very short break, and then we're going to come back and wrap up some of the new material, begin and then wrap up some of the new material that we have planned for today. It's 9:04. Come back before 9:10. 9:00.
What were you talking about this morning? I have no idea.
This is Imam Marcellus Williams. He was basically wrongfully convicted for a crime he did not do in Missouri. And so he's been on death row for like 20-something years. And so he was just executed last night.
What was that versus?
Murder of a journalist. Yeah. So and I think there were some other things that were tacked on there like as well, like robbery and etc. But yeah, it was a whole thing because he like DNA evidence proved that he's innocent. Prosecution said that he's, shouldn't be given the death penalty. The family of the victim said that, they don't want him to be given the death penalty. Basically, nobody wanted him to get it. But the kind of last option was basically getting clemency from the governor. And he refused to do so.
Yeah.
Probably racism. Yeah, probably a whole host of things. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but probably a few key things that he mentioned at least were this concept of finality. Basically, if someone decided it once, then we have to like respect that jury's decision or whatever, even though the jury was predominantly white.
Mhm.
So he's kind of refusing to grant clemency because of that.
So the way the law is written, which is the way they can understand, like if a jury decides something, and the judge decides it, and everybody decides it, and then DNA evidence says otherwise, it doesn't matter. Or there's like,
It depends on what stage you bring it up in.
Uh-huh.
So the reason why it didn't help out this time is because even though the DNA case or the DNA evidence would have warranted a new trial, but because he had already like kind of exhausted some of the appeals process, he wasn't allowed to bring that new evidence in. So new evidence can be significant if you bring it up at the right time. But if you bring it up too late, when you know things are kind of already sealed and done, even if it's clear as day, then it won't
so
count.
once you,
But the judge has the option. So if you have a good judge that is willing to consider things, then they can, but I think this one wasn't willing to grant them. Yes.
Can I look at my quiz? Look at it. I was thinking.
Sure.
Marcellus Williams.
unwritten,
He became Muslim in prison.
And I thought we're trying to do it and he knows the country.
Yeah, that's fine.
were you on this case?
No, this is a Missouri Innocence Project, but the person that was on it, Trisha Bernal, I think is her last name. She's a colleague.
Mhm.
For the Innocence Project?
Mhm. Yeah, wait, I can.
Don't get reason that next week.
Every week, except the weeks that we have exams. What was the question? There is still execution? Yeah, it just happened last night.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Did they have?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. We like to pride ourselves on being modern, but a lot of things are still very, very backwards. Yeah.
It's in all states or just?
So some states like California can choose to put a moratorium on it, meaning basically they won't do it for now. Like California has that currently. But some states, they don't have that.
When the prosecutor knew what case did they know? Did he know? Was it a girlfriend or what?
No,
Just a writing?
I think they probably just brought together a bunch of circumstantial evidence. That's oftentimes like you get a few random eyewitnesses to say that this was the person.
It said some of the people that were witnessed against him, maybe received financial contribution as a result, and also were facing their own like
Yeah,
troubles with the law. They might have got some type of deal as a result.
yeah,
To have an incentive, it kind of seems like a conflict of interest there.
yeah.
What do you find about the butcher and what they treat you?
I wanted to ask about Samitu. That's a Sigatu.
Sira.
Sigatu.
Yes.
Okay, yesterday Sheikh Mudassir asked us a question about pattern. Is the pattern like Yaf'alu? Anything that plugs into that pattern? Is that what a Sigatu? Sigatun is the Yaf'alu. Is that one example?
Yes, the sira, the way you can kind of think of it is like the mold in which you can put in different pieces. So the mold of yaf'alu, the mold of present tense, that's the sira. And then the different letters that you put in make it conjugate into different. But the sira itself is that like the base mold.
Okay, so like Yaf'alu, Yaf'alani, anything we plug in, we're just plugging into the Siga.
Yes.
How do you say it? Sigatun?
Yeah, the singular is siratun,
Okay, so,
and then plural is siyarun.
so would huma, hum also be an example or no?
No, so those aren't patterns, because those are just pronouns. Yeah, but you don't plug anything into those.
And so when we're learning in Arabic class plurals of the form like ashya'u, that's one example of a sigha, that form,
Mhm.
ashya'u.
Like as being a broken plural.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So sigha can be used in a number of different ways. One of them, like if I give you the verb and I say, okay, tadrusin, what sigha is this? There's a number of different ways you can answer that. You could answer by saying al-fi'l al-mudari'. You can also answer by saying tadrusin. You can also answer by saying anta, like the sigha of that pattern is anta. So
I think that's
yeah.
We're all kind of like
Yeah. It's basically kind of just like, what is everything you can tell me about the mold? The mold is telling you, one, that it's mudari'. The mold is also telling you that it's empty. So it's like, what is the mold indicating? Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and jump back in. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Okay, so one thing that we have all probably noticed at this point in all of the examples that we've done in the past and in the present on the quizzes, the homework, the drills in the book, is that all of these, number one, are complete sentences. And number two, all of these, the doer is simply a pronoun. He did, they listen, you study, I went, all of those are just pronouns, okay? So that is what we have covered at this point in our Arabic journey. We are in the world of, let's write this down so it's easier. We are in the world of al-jumlatu al-fi'liyatu. Al-jumlatu al-fi'liyatu. Verbal sentences. Okay. Every single verbal sentence, without exception, will have at a bare minimum 2 components. Good. Good. The verb and the doer. This is the bare minimum. This is the skeleton, the bare minimum that is needed for any verbal sentence to be a complete sentence. All you need is these 2 things. So some of our examples. Oops. Now, sartu, I helped. That is a complete sentence. You do not need any other additional information for this sentence to be complete. My fi'il is nasara yansuru, and my fa'il is ana. Okay, this is stuff we kind of already know. We're kind of just breaking it down further, right? Because we're going to introduce a new topic into this in a second. All right, I helped. Complete sentence, good to go, no additional information needed. I got my verb, I got my doer. And this works across tenses as well. If I were to take this and plug in a mudari' verb, let's say, let's choose something a bit more obvious. Let's do something like, nadhabu. We are going, right? Complete sentence. We are going. It's a complete idea. I don't need any additional information. That is sufficient. My verb is dhahaba yadhabu, and my doer is nahnu, we. Okay. And so that's why, as you guys have noticed, that in the homework assignment for the past 2 weeks, the instructions were to write 5 one-word sentences, meaning every single verb that you put which has a verb and some type of conjugation associated with it, that is a complete sentence. It is one word long, but it is a complete sentence because it has our two bare minimum components. Okay. If you look at the book, you will see that there is an additional one. Oh, sorry, no, that comes, oops, it comes later. But basically, our third option, which is optional, not necessary for a complete sentence, is some type of maf'ul. Bihi is the most common, but there's also maf'ulun lahu and also maf'ulun fihi. But for now, you guys will only be doing bihi. But some type of maf'ul, so that's why we're just leaving it vague, because it could be maf'ulun bihi, it could be something else. It could be a different type of maf'ul as well. So that's the key to remember here, is that the maf'ul is optional. You could have it, if I say akaltu, I ate, that is a complete sentence. But I could also say akaltu tufahata, I ate the apple. All right, that's also a complete sentence, but the apple is not necessary for it to be a complete whole sentence. So what we have covered so far is that the doer, component number 2, we have only covered so far how to make it so that the component number 2, the doer, is an intrinsic pronoun. I, we, she, they, them, you all, you both, etc. How do we formulate a sentence if we want the doer to be explicit? Instead of he went, I want to say Tayyib went. Instead of you all feminine are studying, I want to say the students are studying. Instead of they both are asking, I want to say the two Muslims are asking. All right. What do I do in that situation? When I have an explicit doer, my order of operations is going to be as follows. My first component is going to be my fi'l. And my fi'l will only be one of two conjugations. It's going to be either huwa or it's going to be hiya. In other words, my verb will match my doer in gender only. It will not match in number. So even if I have 2, even if I have 5, it's going to be either huwa or hiya. My verb will match my gender only. After I have my fi'l in either the huwa or hiya form, I'm going to put my fa'il. And my fa'il will always be in the state of rafa'. It will be marfu'. Oops.
Wait, so you said for the fi'il, it doesn't like change or conjugate according to the number of people.
Mm-hmm.
So
this is again in my very specific world of if I have an explicit doer.
oh,
This thing that we're talking about right now is only in the case of an explicit doer. What do I mean by explicit doer? Who wants to explain that in their own words? Yeah, Sarah. What? A proper name, anything that's not a pronoun, right? Explicit meaning anything that is not a pronoun. So if we go back to our pronouns chart and look at how we translated all of those words, it was he, they both, they all. She, they both, they all. You both, you all. Anything that is not a pronoun is going to follow these rules. So anything that's not a she, he, we, they, them. It's going to be stuff like the students, the teachers, the Muslims, the books, the table, like whatever is a doer of a verb that is explicitly mentioned is going to follow these specific set of rules. Yeah.
can you kind of use it like a sentence example?
Yep, we're going to do that in a bit. We are going through the theory and then we're going to do a ton of examples. So my doer, sorry, my world of explicit doer, my fi'l is going to be either huwa or hiya, matching in gender only. My fa'il is going to be marfu', all right, regardless of, again, whether it's ma'rifa or nakira, whether it's mufrad, muthanna, jama', it's just going to be marfu'. And then, of course, if I have my third optional maf'ul, there's no specific rules here. We just know that the maf'ul is going to be mansub. There's no specific rules, whether it's explicit or implicit when it comes to the maf'ul. So, if I want to say the Muslim studied, I'm going to start with my first option, which is, or my first step, which is the fi'l. I'm going to just assume this is a masculine Muslim, okay? Am I going to choose huwa or hiya for the word study? Huwa. So what's my huwa conjugation for to study? Darasa. Now, I'm going to put the Muslim. So I have to make it ma'rifa. And I also have to follow my rule, which is that it has to be marfu'. So what's my next word going to be? Al-Muslim. Let's just add a maf'ulun bihi just for completeness. Study the Quran.
Is there no like a uppercase, lowercase types and everything?
Nope. No upper or lowercase. All right. And then I want to just add a maf'ulun bihi just because, even though I don't need it, darasa al-Muslim was a complete sentence. I don't need any extra information. What's my ending on Al-Quran? Al-Qur'ana. I'm making it mansub. Darasa al-Muslimu al-Qur'ana. How about now I want to say something like the female Muslim is studying. I've got my skeleton of a jumla fi'liya, fi'l fa'il maf'ul bihi. What's my fi'l going to be? I need to keep in mind a few things. I have an explicit doer, so it's going to be either huwa or hiya, and it's mudari'. What's my first word of my sentence?
So it's yadrusu, which then female would be
Tadrusu.
Oh, so, oh.
Tadrusu al-muslimatu.
There's no is, right? Or is.
There's no?
And is are.
One more time?
And is are in the Arabic. Thanks for.
Like is, are.
Oh, there's no is or are. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. That these words are implied in the jumla itself. Same thing with if you guys have already covered jumla ismiya at this point, right? Yeah. So if I wanted to say the book is big, right? In English, you say the book is big, but in Arabic, it would just be al-kitabu kabirun. There's no is in the middle. Al-kitabu kabirun. That is where you draw the line between mubtada and khabar. All right. Let's do some examples with some different numbers here and see how the huwa in hiya works with that. Let's say I want to do, what are some other doers that you guys have learned? You guys know the word Muslim? What else? What are the doers? Do you guys know the word for teacher? All right, you guys have a lot of words for teacher. All right, cool.
We haven't covered.
Oh, it's not on your vocabulary. Okay, so you guys know the word for student.
Yes.
Okay, well, so what's a doer in your vocab list? Huh?
Isn't enough first to by the
So it's fun, so let's the kid.
Oh, you guys know kid.
Clifford.
Okay, great. Let's do kid. Let's do kid. This is the book you guys were using, right?
Yes.
Okay. What chapters have you guys covered?
1, 2, and
Okay. Okay, great. Let's just use this. Okay. Oh, you guys know. Okay. Let's do this. All right. Let's do as you said, is Clifford even on here or is that a
It's
different
on
chapter? Okay, let's do that. Page 30 to 31. All right, everybody is good at chapter 3 vocab?
yeah.
Yeah.
You have a testimony for the child.
All right, this is great. This doesn't have that many doers on here. Let's just go ahead and cover the first one. Let's just do chapter 1 and 2. Okay, let's do the girls are eating. Am I gonna choose huwa or hiya for this conjugation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I gonna choose madi or mudari'? Mudari'. What's my first word gonna be? Ta'kulu. Oh, is right. Ta'kulu. And then what's my word for girls? What's my ending? Tu. Al-banatu. What if I want to say the 2 men helped? The 2 men helped. Am I going to choose huwa or hiya? Am I going to choose madi or mudari'? What's my first word? Oi. Nasara. And what's my doer? Ar-rajulani. Does it have to be? Yes. No, it doesn't have to be ma'rifa. Does not have to be ma'rifa. We can do an example of that next.
I got it. Okay, so we're just doing, so for example, with Nubalia, it's either gonna be yakulu or takulu, that's it.
If I have
Only
an
two
explicit
options.
doer.
Yeah, only 2 options, and with this one, it's either nasara or nasara, that's it. Okay.
When I have my outside doer, I only have 2 options. When I have an explicit outside doer, I only have 2 options.
Because I wanted to say nasara.
Yeah. Yes, that is the sort of mental thing you have to work around. But I want to make this very clear. This is when we are dealing with, we're in a very specific world right now. One is that, yes, we're dealing with an explicit doer, but 2, this is also when we are dealing with a jumla fi'liya. This is a jumla fi'liya rule. If you switch the order and make it a jumla ismiya, then you have to match all the stuff. So if I want to translate the 2 men helped as a jumla ismiya, then now I do have to make it match. That makes sense? Jumla ismiya, it has to match in everything. But in a jumla fi'liya, when you have an explicit doer, this is when you have the huwa hiya only rule. Yeah.
So you can just take the verb, put it before or after, and it can work both ways.
Depending, but yes, you could hypothetically take any sentence and mold it to be either jumla ismiya or a jumla fi'liya. Yeah. In this class, we will be working primarily with jumla fi'liya.
So like, if you did that, we could change it to the or just regular.
Like this?
Yeah.
You could just keep it normally. Yeah, you don't need to change any of the words per se, just the way you conjugate them.
Meaning is not changed, right?
No, the meaning is just so subtle enough, but usually when you have a jumla fi'liya that is converted to ismiya, majority of times the only reason you do that is if you want to bring emphasis to the doer. So if I want to, and happens all the time if you look in the Quran, or you'll see something that is a verbal concept, a verbal something taking place, but Allah will be mentioned first and then the verb. Allahu yabsutur rizqa liman yasha. Because it's like nobody else is in charge over provision and sustenance, it's Allah who is in charge. So the only reason that you would really do this type of structure, ar-rajulani nasara, is if it's not the two women, it's not the two boys, it's not the two girls, it's the two men who helped. So this is why we would flip the order. But generally speaking, this is the default. This is the default, to do fi'l, then fa'il, then maf'ulun bihi. Unless you have some rhetorical reason to do otherwise. Yarhamukallah. It's okay. All right. Let's just do one more example. I know we're over time. Let's do two mothers are creating. Two mothers are creating. Here we have a nakira doer. Let's translate this as we usually do, the standard jumla fi'liya translation. What's my first word going to be? Let's do create. So khalaqa yakhluqu. Takhluqu. Okay, and then two mothers. That would be multiple.
Oh, that's the rule. We allow one, right?
That's for ab.
Oh, it's just for, it's not for, okay.
Ummani.
What word do you add about?
The Asma'ul Khamsa. Which, plot twist, is actually Al Asma'ul Sitta. But there's actually 6, but you guys learned 5. Takhluqu ummani, two mothers are creating. If this example is a bit too confusing because you guys just learned a separate rule, let's do messengers. Messengers. What other verbs did you guys have? Messengers new. Messengers new. How would I translate messengers new? What's my ending? Rusulun. Messengers new is rusulun.
If we put the messengers new, that would be arusul.
Yes. If I had the messengers new, the messengers new. Alima. Cool. All right. Does this rule of the fa'il make sense? How the fa'il will act in a jumla fi'liya? Huh? That's a good idea. Thank you, Sardar. Everybody, be sure to thank him after class. All right. Okay. Any questions?
Could you go back to steps 1 and 2?
Yes.
Can you explain 2 again?
Can I what?
Re-explain step 2.
Yeah, step 2 is where you plug in the fa'il, where you put the fa'il, the explicit doer of that sentence. The fa'il can be any number. It can be singular, dual, or plural. It can be any gender, masculine or feminine. It can be any definiteness. It can be ma'rifa or nakira. The only rule that it has to be is marfu'. Has to be marfu'.
What does marfu'a mean again? Present?
What is what?
Marfu'a? Present?
What does marfu' mean?
Before.
Marfu'un is the i'rab. It's the state that it has to be. So generally speaking, for regular stationary nouns, it would be a dhamma or dhammatain. It would be alif lam for plural, dual. It would be una for sound feminine, sound masculine, atun for sound feminine. Any other questions? Yeah. So the homework for this week is partially up. It's the vocab for the next chapter, chapter 14. So again, same process. We're memorizing all 3 terms, the maldi, mudari, and the masdar. And we are only memorizing the 3-letter verbs section. Okay, we're only doing the 3-letter verb section. So that is page 39. So we're only doing the 3-letter verb section. Okay, so only this. Only this. Okay. Huh? Yeah, all these words are Quranic words. Cool.
What page is that? What page is that on?
39.
Thank you.
Okay, subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Wa sallallahu ala khayri khalqika Muhammad wa alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wa iyyakum. Anybody who needed ijaza? I don't know why these are just laying out here.
Sheikh, I had a quick question about the quiz.
Yes.
So for some reason, it's not going through email. So I texted it through WhatsApp before the deadline time. Is that fine?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. If you encounter any problems, then texting or WhatsApp is okay. But yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me know.
So
If you're talking to me, yes, with a key.
We start at 10 or 44. Starting.
Uh, 30. So 32 is the last one, correct? So we're on 33. 33 سالمون. طيب.
رفع جمع مذكر نكرة.
Good. سالمون. He said رفع جمع مذكر and نكرة. 34 Grant. العدو
مجرور
مجرور
مجرور I think it's مفرد
مفرد
مذكر
مذكر.
معرفة
نعم. So he said مجرور مفرد مذكر معرفة. عيسى 35.
نصب is جمع treated as مؤنث.
No, it's people.
Oh, it's people. Okay. مذكر and type is معرفة.
Good. الأقوام. He said نصب or منصوب جمع. It is the plural of قوم. So even in by meaning is plural and as a word is plural. جمع مذكر and معرفة. Sardar 36 نائمون.
مذكر جمع مذكر نكرة.
Good. نائمون. He said رفع or مرفوع جمع مذكر and نكرة. عبد الرحمن كوكبين. كوكبين.
مثنى مؤنث مثنى مذكر نكرة.
Good. كوكبين. He said نصب or جر مثنى. It is dual. مذكر and نكرة. Clear? محمد رحمة. What did you say? Okay, I said جر مفرد. Good. I think you're trying to say a different word. مؤنث نكرة. مالك 39 نوحا منصوب
مثنى
Good. One of them for the number you said it's مثنى. No, for the number you said it's مثنى. مفرد. نوحا is منصوب, it's مفرد, it's مذكر and it's معرفة. No. نوحا نوح. It's a name. Did you say نكرة? I didn't know. Okay, it's معرفة. It's معرفة. Once again, نوحا منصوب مفرد مذكر and معرفة. 40 سعد الغيوم. نصب. Good. How it's treated. Let's go with how it's treated. مفرد مؤنث معرفة. So الغيوم, which is the plural of غيم, right? So we're going to go منصوب. We're going to go مفرد because it's a non-intellectual plural, right? We're going to go مؤنث because it's a non-intellectual plural. And we're going to go معرفة. Question, Mira? No? DJ 41 ماكثين. Nasbun jarrun, good. Should all of them at this point.
No,
So nasbun jarrun and then jam'un mudhakkarun nakiratun. Makithina. No.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I was trying to figure out the definition.
No, it's not.
It's not over.
Makithina, those who remain or stay. Amira, Rasulani. Number. Gender. Good. Rasulani, she said, marfu'un, muthanna, mudhakkarun, and nakiratun. 43, Michelle, al-qarnayni. Nasbun or jarrun, muthanna, mudhakkarun. Huh? Ma'rifatun. Salma, ayatin. Nasbun or jarrun. Jam'un, how it's treated. Let's go how it's treated. Mufradun, mu'annathun, and nakiratun. So ayatin, she said, nasbun and or jarrun, then how it's treated, mufradun, because non-intellectual plural, mu'annathun, treated as singular feminine, and nakiratun. Rama, 45. Good. She said, raf'un, mufradun, mu'annathun, and nakiratun. Nur, rajulaini. Rajulaini, she said, nasbun or jarrun, muthanna, mudhakkarun, and nakiratun. Insha, as-subhu. Good. As-subhu, she said, raf'un, mufradun, mudhakkarun, and ma'rifatun. Muhammad Fardeen, al-jannatayni.
الجنتين نصب جر مثنى معرفة.
I think did you mention gender?
Yes. جنتين مذكر. Oh, no, that's مؤنث.
مؤنث. Okay, so once again, الجنتين nasbun and or jarrun. For number, muthanna. For gender, mu'annathun, feminine. And for type, we're going to go ma'rifatun, sirajun. 49.
49.
Siraj.
Nasbun or
Siraj,
yes.
To honor you, mashallah, your seat was kept. Your seat was kept. No one sat in your seat. Like, that's how much your classmates respect you. Your seat was left. Your presence or your absence is, still like your presence. Go ahead.
Nasbun or jarrun, jam'un, mudhakkarun, ma'rifatun.
Ma'rifatun. I even heard during the break, Siraj, that Tayyib was seen talking to the chair. Al-mu'minina. He said nasbun and or jarrun. He said jam'un. For gender, he said mudhakkarun, and for type, he said ma'rifatun. Let's see. Nasbun and or jarrun. Jam'ul mudhakkar as-salim. Mu'minuna mu'minina. Nasbun and or jarrun. Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Let's go. Khadija, are you there? We're on 50, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Khadija, 50.
إبليس. It's مفرد, right? Singular.
Let's start with
Oh.
status.
نصب. مفرد. What was the
Gender
مذكر.
and type.
It is it نكرة?
No, it's not nakiratun. It's
Okay, it's specific. معرفة.
ma'rifatun. Okay, so the first one, Khadija, you said nasbun. You're right, but there's a second part of the answer.
جر.
Yeah, because it is what, guys?
ممنوع من الصرف.
ممنوع من الصرف. ممنوع من الصرف, right? So it'd be iblisu in the state of raf' and iblisa in the state of nasb and jar. So for iblisa, once again, we'd go nasbun and or jarrun, right? Mufradun, mudhakkarun, and ma'rifatun. 51. You have a question?
Yes. Iblis is right? Shaitan?
Iblis is a specific name. Shaitan is general. Shaitan is sometimes used to refer to Iblis or in general, but Iblis is specific. Joseph, are you there? Joseph. Rania?
Well, Akilu.
Yeah, Akilani.
رفع مثنى مذكر
What was the last one?
نكرة.
Good. Akilani. She said raf'un or marfu'un. Muthanna, it's dual. Mudhakkarun, it's masculine. And it's nakiratun. Leave off. Ahmad, 52. Maryam Khidr, 52. Grant, 52. Oh, go ahead, Maryam. Go ahead, Maryam.
Yeah. الحياة is
حياتنا.
مرفوع.
مرفوع.
It's female. مثنى or مؤنث. Sorry, مؤنث.
مؤنث. And type.
Type is مفرد.
Is what?
Oh, sorry, no. معرفة.
معرفة. الحياة مرفوع مفرد مؤنث and معرفة. 53, Grant.
منصوب مجرور مفرد مؤنث معرفة.
Good. Maryama, he said mansubun and or majrurun because all female names are mamnu'un min as-sarfi. Good. So he said mansubun and or majrurun. Then he said mufradun, mu'annathun, and ma'rifatun. It's ma'rifatun because it's the specific name of a person. Yeah, Sardar, 54. Take us home. Not home, but nafsan. منصوب مفرد غفر الله لك. Allah forgive you. No, the gender. What's the gender? No. مؤنث. نفس is مؤنث. Huh? Nafs is
Nafs, we have nafs inside us.
It was on the list because the Arab said so.
Oh, it's on the Arab said so list.
So mu'annathun, and the last one was Nakiratun. Good. So nafsan, once again, nasbun or mansubun, mufradun, mu'annathun because the Arab said so, and what was the last one? Nakiratun. Good. We did this. I know we did this yesterday, but just because, we need to practice. Enemy, Noor. Insha, close friend. Rama, cloud. Ghaymun. Ghaymun, ghiyamun, or ghuyumun. Morning or dawn. That's strange. Salma, you got the same one yesterday. Go ahead. Sabahun, asbahun, or subhun, asbahun. Mishal. Strong. أقوياء. قوي أقوياء. أميرة. Star. Go.
Three times.
She did?
Hey, go like this, so you everybody's sitting the same.
Huh? You said you got the same word? And you sat over there. She was quiet because she was like, I finally got it right. Kawkabun Kawakibu. Who did that? You? Okay. So we'll go. Yeah. طيب, safe, secure, intact. Yeah. I was like, why are you looking at me? What is it, Grant?
Salimun.
Salimun. Safe, secure, intact. Salimun. Sardar, cool. Bardun, Isa, reward. Punishment, retribution, Malik. Iqabun. See, ended up in the same place again. We still can't do anything about it, guys. People, Muhammad Mardini. Nasun unasun. God, deity, Abdurrahman. Ilahun alihatun. Sa'ad, sick or uneasy. Saqimun, DJ, infant or child. Tiflun atfarun. Siraj, nasihatun. Sorry. Siraj, truth, right, or privilege.
حق حقوق.
Muhammad Fardeen, thing or something. Muhammad Fardeen, thing or something.
شيء أشياء.
شيء أشياء. Khadija, soul, self, person.
Nafsun, nufusun.
Nafsun, nufusun. Good. Rania, sky or heaven.
Sama'un, samawatun.
Sama'un, samawatun. 20. 20. Joseph, punishment or torment. 20. Ahmed. 20. Insha. Adabun. Salma, heart. The other one. I moved from Noor because I wanted to give her Fuad and Afidatun. And did you know emotional heart? You did? Okay. What is it? Qalbun qulubun. Michelle, emotional heart, intellect. She just said it. Amira, what is it? That's the plural. Fu'adun. Fu'adun afidatun. Miraculous sign, Amira. Ayatun. I think you're right. Ashya'u. I think you're right. I apologize. Shouldn't have said that. Rama, group of people or nation. قوم أقوام, earth, land, Isa. أرض, Sardar, master, deity. رب أرباب, Abdurrahman, life. DJ, water. DJ, word. Muhammad Mardini, place. Good. Open up to chapter 4. One good? Yeah. Pronouns. Now that we've studied the 4 properties in the ism, let's take a look at asma that don't follow the rules of status mentioned in the previous chapter. Pronouns. Pronouns. Are they mu'rabun or mabniyun, Nur? Mabniyun. What's another? Mabniyun. Oh, I didn't hear the un. Did you? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I heard it, but it like stopped. It was coming. It was like.
Maybe it's not short.
Okay, good. Just making sure, you know. Students have like, you know, at times when they've said something, they've been adamant, right? So a few times I went back the next day and I took the clip from the video and I said, listen to yourself. Hatu burhanakum in kuntum sadiqin. Bring me your evidence if you're truthful. الأسماء الإشارة or أسماء الإشارة except the duals, right? The ضمائر, أسماء الإشارة, and Grant, what did you mention yesterday under the مبنيٌ category?
The different types of the two?
No, the different types of مبنيٌ categories. Non-flexible.
Non-flexible.
Non-flexible. Pronouns, أسماء الإشارة, and yesterday you mentioned? No, because I had mentioned the day before, so you mentioned it yesterday. فعل ماضٍ. Remember? Okay.
Is it also the Mawsula?
Al-Asma'ul Mawsula as well, technically, except for the duals once again. Okay, pronouns are a special type of an ismun that do not display their 4 properties in a standard way. We will learn about 2 types of pronouns in this chapter. They are independent pronouns and attached pronouns. I need you to know these Arabic phrases. الضمائر المنفصلة. الضمائر المنفصلة. الضمائر المنفصلة. And attached pronouns are الضمائر المتصلة. Yeah, Grant.
Do they use the term mutaharis? Do you think that one of these as well?
No.
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 Have you heard that term? Mutaharis?
I've heard the term, but not for pronouns. So الضمائر المنفصلة are independent pronouns, or you can call them detached pronouns. Detached pronouns, right? And الضمائر المتصلة are attached pronouns. Please notice that الضمائر المنفصلة, both words have alif lam, and both words end in a dhamma. Is that clear? الضمائر المنفصلة. Is that clear? Everyone say الضمائر المنفصلة. And attached pronouns are الضمائر المتصلة. Does that make sense? Yes? Perfect. Okay, we're gonna go on a tangent. Okay, sometimes the reason we go on a tangent is because I need to buy time. You know what I need to buy time for? No, I need to buy time for you guys to memorize the vocab. Because if I go, I can go. Like, we'll finish this chapter right now. Huh?
Sheikh, we're already going pretty fast.
Huh? What do you say? What do you say?
You're already going pretty fast.
Let's try this. I'll just. الضمائر المنفصلة الضمائر المتصلة. Okay. الضمائر المنفصلة, you already know them. هو, هما, هم, هي, هما, هن, أنت, أنتما, أنتم, أنت, أنتما, أنتن, أنا, نحن. It's done. Clear? Amira, what are they again? Good. Muhammad Mardini, what are they? Good. DJ, what are they? Michelle, what are they? Done. 4.1, independent pronouns are pronouns that stand alone as their own word and do not attach to another word. Independent pronouns. Detached pronouns. Independent pronouns are always in the raf'un status. Now pause. Independent pronouns are always in the raf'un status. I just said a few minutes ago that because that statement is technically incorrect. Okay? That statement is technically incorrect in the book. Okay? I just said a few minutes ago that independent pronouns are mabniyun. What are they? Mabniyun. And by them being mabniyun means they are non-flexible. They do not take a state. They do not take a state. So what does he mean when he says independent pronouns are always in the raf'un status? They don't have a status. Is that clear? They don't have a status. What he's trying to say is that when they appear, the position that they appear in is a position of rafa. And I'll explain that in a second. Because in itself, it can't have a status. Okay? Do you remember I introduced last week, we spoke about al-jumlatul ismiyah, the nominal sentence. And al-jumlatul ismiyah needs a what and a what, Sardar? Mubtada'un and khabarun. It needs a subject and a predicate, correct? Okay. I said, to keep it simple, the mubtada'un will always be in what state? Marfu'un. And I said, for right now, to keep it simple, the khabarun will also be in what state? Marfu'un. You remember that? Yes? So I could say, for example, with the words that we have, ar-rajulu na'imun. Ar-rajulu na'imun. The man is sleeping. Good. Salma, say the two boys are eating. One more time. Read only, use only asma, no nouns, no verbs. One more time. I feel like each time you've said it, you've changed your answer slightly. Did you say yakulani the first time? You did? And then the second time, did you say waladaini? Huh? She said al-waladani? Okay. Al-waladani, what was it? Al-waladani akilani. Good.
Just went over putting the verbs first. Maybe that's why she's thinking this. Like putting the verbs and then
You covered jumla when self.
With Shaykh Aisha. Okay, got it. But we're doing nominal sentences. So we're starting with nouns. So al-waladani akilani. Got it? Al-waladani akilani. The two boys are eating. Abdurrahman, what state is al-waladani in? I need to do something about this. That table is a problematic table. Yeah.
You can't see, you have to Google.
You can't see what?
The screen. You have a book, bro.
It's a book. It's called a book.
I know, that's.
Huh? It's in the state of rafa, right? How is it showing that it's in the state of rafa? Because of the alif, that's good enough. Al-waladani. And akilani is also in what state? Because of the alif. What type of words are there? Are they mufradun, muthanna, or jam'un words? Muthanna. Good, right? Perfect. Good. Sardar. The children or the infants are sleeping.
The children, like plural, right? Atfalun, naim.
Grant, the children are sleeping.
Al-atfalu na'imun.
Good. Al-atfalu na'imuna. Al-atfalu na'imuna. Al-atfalu is what type of plural, insha? Jam'u taksirin, and it is in what state over here? Al-atfalu. How is it showing that? With a dhamma. Na'imuna, nur is what type of word? Jam'u al-mudhakkar al-salimu, and it is in what state? Raf'un. And how is it showing that? Through the wow. Good. Okay. Simple sentences, 2 words. Okay. Now, let's say he is sleeping. Amira, he is sleeping. Huwa na'imun. Huwa na'imun. Isa, what type of sentence is this? Jumlatun ismiyatun. So by definition, DJ, it has to have 2 parts. What are those 2 parts? Mubtada and khabarun. Huwa na'imun. Which one is the mubtada'un? Which one is the subject? Huwa. Which one is the khabarun? Na'imun. Huwa is the subject, correct? Remember just 2 minutes ago I said the mubtada'un has to be in a state of raf'un. But then we just said huwa is mabniyun, correct? Does it have a state in itself? No. But what position is it in? No. What position it's in? It's in the position of the mubtada. Clear? And the mubtada'un is always raf'un. Does that make sense? So when he says independent pronouns are always in the raf'un status, are always in the raf'un position. You can cross out status and put position. Because they don't have a status. They are mabniyun. Rather, they are in the raf'un position. When an independent pronoun appears, then that means that position which it has appeared in is a position of rafa'. Good? Okay. As for type, pronouns are always labeled as ma'rifatun. Pronouns, by their definition, are ma'rifatun. This is something we took earlier, right? We said nakiratun is the default, and then there are types of things that are ma'rifatun. You add an alif lam, it becomes ma'rifa. Ismu alamin, specific names of people and places, right? Another one was ad-dama'iru, asma'ul ishara, right? All of these things fell under the things that are ma'rifatun. The number and gender of each pronoun based on its meaning labeled in the chart below. Guys, you know this chart, so just skip through. Got it? 4.2, next page. Have you done with anyone in attached pronouns? No? Okay. Attached pronouns. Every independent pronoun has an attached counterpart. Attached pronouns either attached to a harfun or a fi'lun or another ismun. So attached pronouns can attach to a harfun, they can attach to a fi'lun, or they can attach to a ismun. They attach to all 3. Attached pronouns are always either in the nasbun or jarrun, cross out status and put position. Attached pronouns are always either in the nasbun or jarrun position. So under the things that are mabniyun, you could say ad-dama'iru and mean both of them. Ad-dama'iru al-munfasilatu, detached pronouns, and ad-dama'iru al-muttasilatu, and attached pronouns. Because they're all mabniyun. Clear? They themselves don't take a status. All attached pronouns look the same in the nasbun or jarrun status, except for the aversion. The way to tell what is nasbun and what is jarrun is to look at what the pronoun is attached to. This will be discussed further in later chapters. Or we could just discuss it now. What do you think, Amir? Huh? What do you think? No, you choose. You choose, Amira. Tell me, what do you want to do, Amira?
Later.
What do you want to do, Amira? Salma, what do you want to do? Later. Huh?
We should cover it.
Now? Noor? Now? Insha? Later. Isa? Now? Grant?
Yeah.
Now?
It's a very short, so
Okay, first of all, let's look at them. Let's look at them, okay? To make our life simple, we're going to use the word kitabun, okay? And we're going to attach everything to the word kitabun. Because here it doesn't help. Like I need to attach them to something. So our word is kitabun. Is that clear? Now when you attach any of these pronouns, you have to remove the tanween. You have to remove the tanween. Okay, so for example, you want to say his book, you would say kitabu hu. What would you say? Kitabu hu. His book. Clear? Now, you see how it says who and then it says he as well next to it? That is not the pronoun changing status. That is simply different ways to pronounce some of the pronoun so it becomes easier upon the tongue. Okay? Kitabuhu. The word kitab, kitabuhu, what state is kitab in? Raf'un, okay? Put kitab in the state of nasbun, Grant.
kitab,
Which one sounds better, kitabahu or kitabahi? Who? Kitabahu. Kitabahu. It naturally flows. Kitabuhu, kitabahu. Clear? But now put a kasra on the ba. Make the word kitab majrur. Kitabihu? No. Kitabihi. Kitabihi. That ha, whether it takes a hu or a he, is not a change in the state. It is how do you pronounce it and it flows. Once again, kitabu, hu, kitaba, hu, kitabi, he. Okay, it's just what flows. Same meaning, same exact meaning. Nothing changed. Okay. And who and he, just like huwa, because huwa can be he and it can be it. Right? Similarly, who and he both mean he and it. Okay, then you have huma. Once again, let's use the word kitab. Okay? Kitabu huma. Kitaba huma. Kitabi hima. Get it? Next one. Kitabu hum. Kitaba hum. Kitabi him. Next one. Okay, now watch. Now we don't need it. Now we don't need it over here. Kitabu ha. Kitaba ha. Kitabi ha. See how it flowed naturally on each one? So we didn't need two different versions, right? This one is a repeat. So kitabu huma. Kitaba huma. Kitabi hima. Hunna. Kitabu hunna. Kitaba hunna. Kitabi hinna. Done. Okay, these, so that's all third person, okay? This next box is second person. Here you don't change them. Because if you change them, it will alter the meaning. Okay? So kitabu ka, kitaba ka, kitabi ka. If you change the vowel sign on that kaf, then it can become she. It can become you female. So you keep it. Kitabuka, kitabaka, kitabi, ka. Then both of you. Kitabu, kuma. Kitaba, kuma. Kitabi, kuma. Then kitabu, kum. Kitaba, kum. Kitabi, kum. Then after that, anti, right? This is anti, right? Kitabu, ki. Kitaba, ki. Kitabi, ki. Kuma, we've done it. And then kitabu, kunna. Kitaba, kunna. Kitabi, kunna. Okay, we'll do I at the end. We, Kitabu, na. Kitaba, na. Kitabi, na. Okay, now, the I. The I. If it is, if the pronoun, see, depending on what the pronoun attaches to, remember the attached pronouns, they can attach to a what? Ismun, fi'lun, harfun. Basically, they attach to all three. Ismun, fi'lun, harfun. This one, depending on which one it is attaching to, and which one is attaching to will automatically determine its status. That will help us determine whether it is E or Ni. Okay? But for example, when you say my book, you would say kita bi. Get it? You would say kita bi. Is that clear? Okay. No, it depends on what is attached, what it attaches to. What it attaches to will determine the status of the pronoun.
Can you give an example for the ni?
See, when I don't explain it, this is what happens. This is what happens, Grant. They don't want to explain, but then they want it explained.
No, I want to explain.
If you want to say Muhammad hit me, you would say ضربني محمد. ضربني محمد. Okay. Some of you, huh? See, some of you didn't want to explain. Now it's causing issues. Okay, let's explain it, guys. Let's explain it. No, because you guys are gonna walk out more confused if I don't explain it. Okay, really quickly. We're only talking about attached pronouns. What are attached pronouns in Arabic called? Attached pronouns. الضمائر المتصلة. الضمائر المتصلة. الضمائر المتصلة. So الضمائر المتصلة, attached pronouns, they can attach to an ismun, a fi'lun, and a harfun. Okay, let's go in order. If they attach to an ism, if they attach to an ismun, then think of an example like my book, kitabi, kitabuka, kitabi, kitabuka. What does kitabuka mean, Amira? Your book. Amira, do you know what type of construction kitabuka is? No? I will, you're right, it's your book. I'm just going to rephrase it in a way that you wouldn't say it and see if it changes anything. Okay? Book of yours. Book of yours. What type of construction is kitabi? An idafa construction. It is a idafa construction. Before you write anything, anytime an attached pronoun attaches to an ismun, from now until the day that you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is an idafa construction. It is a idafa construction. Wait. It is an idafa construction. Now pause. An idafa construction needs what and a what? Mudafun and a mudafun ilay. Which of the two comes first? Mudafun or mudafun ilay? Mudafun, correct? Okay. The which comes second? Mudafun ilay. When we say kitabi, is the word kitab the mudafun ilay, or is the attached pronoun the mudafun ilay? The attached pronoun, because it came second. And you remember I said that the mudafun ilay will always, and I used about 3 different colors and I stopped because if I went any further, it'd become a rainbow. Okay? The mudafun ilay is always in what state? Jarrun. So when an attached pronoun attaches to an ismun, the position of the attached pronoun is what, Amira? Jarrun, because it's playing the role of a mudafun ilayhi. That's all. So whether it's kitabuhu كتابهما كتابهن كتابك كتابنا كتابي. The attached pronoun is the مضاف إليه. Automatically you have an إضافة construction.
Were you leading? What was the question that made you answer? I'm trying to remember where we were. Like what were we covering that made you tell us this?
But basically, this idea of, he keeps saying that attached pronouns are always either in the nasbun or jarrun position. So I'm like, when is an attached pronoun going to be in the nasbun position, and when is an attached pronoun going to be in the jarrun position?
So we got the jarrun.
We got, hold up, it can attach to an ismun, a fi'lun, and a harfun. I want you to think of it that way. So write ismun, fi'lun, harfun. When it attaches to an ismun, automatically what type of construction do we have? Idafa. And the attached pronoun will be in the position of jarrun. Jarrun, yeah. Mudafun ilay, which is jarrun. Clear? What? Yeah, with the hamza, alif with hamza. So when it attaches to an ismun, we have a idafa construction. So anytime you have a pronoun that attaches to an attached pronoun attaches to an ismun, you're gonna have a idafa construction, and the pronoun will be in the jarrun position. Clear? Because it's playing the role of a mudafun ilay. Make sense? Yes? Like for example, take Kitabu Muhammadin. Kitabu Muhammadin. Muhammad's book. Book of Muhammad, right? Muhammadin, why is Muhammad majroor? Because it's the mudafun ilayh. Kitabu Muhammadin, Muhammad's book. You want to say his book, you simply say Kitabu who? Still an idafa construction. His book, book of his. After of, before of, that whole stuff, right? Okay. So instead of going to fi'lun next, which was our general order of just ismun, fi'lun, harfun, to help you remember, I'm going to go to harfun next. Okay. When it comes after a harfun, you guys remember, Michelle, what's your favorite phrase in Arabic? حرف جر. When it comes after, yes, Muhammad.
Okay, maybe I'm a little confused this. So you said that attached pronoun can resolve meaning, right?
When it attaches to an ismun.
So when well wait, so when kitabun or something like that, would that be an ism, right?
Kitabun.
Kitabun, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So then each time we attach it, wouldn't it have to be kitab would be something? Right, it has to be in general.
No. No, listen. The word kitabun is an ism.
Yeah.
Go kitabun, kitaban, kitabin. Is that clear? Okay. Pronouns, whether they are independent or attached, are mabniyun. They don't change. Clear? The whole raf'un, nasbun, jarrun does not apply to the pronouns. Does that make sense? The who and he, you could say kitabuhu, and you could say he, but you only say he when it's like kitab bi he. The who and he is for the ease of pronunciation. It's not telling you the status. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. Guys, remember harfu jarrin? Whatever comes after harfu jarrin will be in what state? Majrurun. So when an attached pronoun attaches to a harfun, then the pronoun is in a position of jarrun or majrurun. Clear? Say it again. Yeah.
Because the pronouns don't change based on these sense, except for I, then like you need to know this basically for like for to whether you're using
that is not the only reason you need to know this, because this will help you determine what role is the pronoun playing. I get what you're saying. You're saying like, is this only relevant for the I pronoun? No, it's relevant for all of them, because knowing this tells you what role it's playing in the sentence. That makes sense?
Yeah. Pronoun is not necessarily in the same
Okay, so when an attached pronoun attaches to the pronoun, attaches to a harf, the pronoun will be in a jarrun position, okay? You say, for example, al-mudarrisu في الفصل. al-mudarrisu في الفصل. The teacher is in the classroom. The teacher is in the classroom, right? You could replace that and say المدرس فيه. The teacher is in it, right? Or trying to think of very simple examples.
Yours said be.
المدرس به? No, don't say به. Like the teacher's in the classroom. Like next to it, المدرس بالباب به. Say that technically. Let's see. If you said something like أكل محمد. Trying to keep it simple. Trying to keep it simple. Huh?
No. I think it was food.
Always. You said محمد ناظر إلى الجبل. محمد ناظر إلى الجبل. Muhammad is ناظر. He's looking at the mountain. Okay. You could change that and say محمد ناظر إليه. إليه. Okay. Something to keep in mind is the huruf, a few of them, right? Like إلى, على, right? When you attach pronouns to them, they will sound differently. That alif maqsura will turn into a ya, right? So ala, like, right? Ala something, ala al-jabali, ala al-jabali. If you go through the pronouns, it would turn into alayhi, alayhima, alayhim, alayha, alayhima, alayhinna, alayka, alaykuma, alaykum, alayki, alaykuma, alaykunna. Get it? Alayya. If you're waiting for that last one, becomes alayya. For ana becomes alayya and alayna. So those huruf that end in a, that a becomes a ya when you attach a pronoun to it. Yes, Grant.
So in that instance, you didn't say alayhum, you said alayhim.
Yes, because yes, the ya with the, because the examples that we did were like kitabu, kitaba, and kitabi, right? But this has a ya with the sukoon before it, so we're going to go alayhim as well. We're not going to go alayhum.
Is that every time when it's preceded by
Yeah.
a ya with sukoon?
If alayhum can still technically work, then yes.
You don't say it. Yeah, you don't say it.
That would be jump.
Huh? Ala.
In that sentence, it'd be jump.
What would be jarran? I just want you to clarify. I think you're right. Those are huruf jar.
Like even if it would always be jump.
Huh?
It would always be jump.
What would always be jar?
I
don't.
You know.
What would be jar? Those are huruf jar.
I understand.
I don't understand this.
No, basically, so I was going off of. I don't know.
I'm not trying to look.
I'm trying to go, but.
Do you know what he's saying?
Are you like the pronoun?
Yeah, I guess like the same. Ila Jabal.
Okay.
That's Harfujan.
Ila is harfu jar, yes.
That's the point. I was just, and then the state.
The state of what? Al-Jabal or Ila?
So Ila is not, wouldn't have a state.
Ila doesn't have a state. It's a harf.
Yeah,
Ila is a harf. It doesn't have a state.
Jews because it's not a human. Like for our mountains are all non-human things going to be treated as feminine.
Unless it's mountains, then we treat it as singular feminine. It's one mountain, we treat it as it masculine default.
What did you say?
He. I didn't say ha is the feminine. Ha is the feminine. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys need a break? 5-minute break?
Yeah.
Take a break.
That's all right.
Wait, here.
Absolutely. So.
Like, okay.
He called my patio guy. He's really nice. He said, "Hey, I'm still working on the estimate because he's been working on it." So I called him back, right? And I'm like, "Hey, look, I just want to be honest. I found a guy really cheap and this and that." And I was like, "And you did one?" Okay, that's really crazy. He's like, "Listen," he's like, "Can you send me his number?" He's like, "Cause sometimes we do patios for people, and then they have like poles in the front on their porch, and they want to match them." And he's like, "It's the same issue." He's like, all right. Bismillah. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Go. You guys ready for tomorrow? Yeah? You know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is Yawm al-Furqan, the day of criterion, where truth becomes clear from falsehood. Yawm al-Taqa al-Jam'an. It's the day on which the two armies meet. May Allah give you guys victory. Not over me, over Arab. I know some of you are thinking over. No, not over me. No. I'm just the referee here over Arabic. You guys ready? Inshallah. Okay. So the last thing left is for the attached pronoun, al-dama'ir al-muttasila, to attach to a fi'lun. Okay. So now thus far, both times it has connected to an ismun or a harfun. The position is what? Jarun. So by process of elimination, when it attaches to a fi'lun, it's going to be Mira. Wallahi, I'm trying, Mira. They make it difficult. Nasbun, right? Remember at the beginning he said that the dama'ir al-muttasila, the attached pronouns, when they attach to things, right? Their position is either nasbun or jarrun. So we've taken two of the three. It was both jarrun. All that's left is nasbun. Okay, so we're not really on the book. But yeah, what page did we leave off on? Whatever they said. Who's unmuted? So when an attached pronoun attaches to a fi'lun, the pronoun will be in a nasbun position. Yesterday I asked you guys a question. I think I was cleaning house. I was clearing the bases.
Yes.
And Siraj came in to save the day. Right. Siraj is not here with us physically today. I asked you, I said, thus far, we've only taken two things that are in the state of nasbun? Amira, what are they?
And
It's funny because yesterday you got the other one and you got stuck on this one. مفعول به. That's the one you got yesterday, right? مفعول به, and ismu inna. Those are the only two things that we've taken that are in the nasb. The only two things that we've taken. You really like muqaddar, by the way. You really like muqaddar, by the way. Since yesterday, 50% of your answers have been muqaddar. Yeah, it's like مقدرا. Okay. Now I'm picking up on it. So I'm مقدر. You haven't mentioned مقدر all day today. So think about it. If the pronoun attaches to a fi'lun, it's going to be in the state of nasbun. I'm not introducing a new. We're still to our two. Ismu inna and
خبر إن.
We're at that point in class where people just blurt out terms where it doesn't. Ismu inna and maf'ulun bihi. Which one? Maf'ulun bihi. Right? When an attached pronoun attaches to a verb, fi'lun, the pronoun will be in the nasbun position. It can't be ismu inna because there's no inna. Okay? What do I mean by that? I gave an earlier example, right? Let's ضرب محمد خالدا. ضرب محمد خالدا. Muhammad hit Khalid, right? What type of sentence is this? Abdurrahman? Jumlatun fi'liyatun. DJ Muhammadun. Muhammadun. What role is it playing in the sentence? What is that called? Fa'ilun. And the fa'ilun will always be in what state? Huh? Raf'un. Good. Khalidan. Mardini. Muhammad. What role is it playing in the sentence? Killing. Killing. Malik, what is it? What is it? What is it? It's the maf'ulun bihi. And the maf'ulun bihi will always be in what state? Nasbun, mansubun, right? Okay, so ضرب محمد خالدا. Muhammad hit Khalid. Now we're just simply going to say Muhammad hit him. We're going to say Muhammad hit him. ضربه محمد. ضربه محمد. Who hit who, Noor? Good. Muhammad hit him. What is Muhammad's role in the sentence? The fa'ilun. And therefore he's in what state? Raf'un. Good. Who did Muhammad hit? Him. Good. Where is him located in the sentence? Who. And the who is attached to the verb, correct? The who, listen to the questions. What role is it playing in the sentence? It's playing the role of the maf'ulun bihi. And therefore, not the ha, But the position of the ha is a position of what status? Nasbun. That's all. That's all.
How would you say he hit him? Would you add a calf
No.
or
He hit him?
who?
No. Good question. Tayyib asked, how would you say he hit him? He hit him. Good. What does this sentence say, Tayyib?
ضربه محمد. So you want to translate it or?
No. Okay. Good. What was your question? Repeat your question.
How do I say he hit him?
Good. How do I say he hit him? How do I say he hit him? Tayyib, how do you say he hit? He hit.
He hit would be ضرب. ضرب.
Overthinking this right now.
ضربه. Oh my God, he hit. ضرب.
Good. Him.
Him. ضربه.
That's it. He hit him.
So if you already have all the context and you know who's in the group, ضربه.
He hit him. ضربه. He hit him.
One verse, 2 to 3 was English.
Nothing's muqaddam. Good. He hit him. Good. Okay. ضربه. So why did I bring all of that up? Because yes, I couldn't control myself. But to explain this idea of the attached pronouns, when they attach, and they can attach to an ismun, fi'lun, harfun, they will change in their position, and their position determines their status, right? So either it will be in a state of nasbun or in a state of jarun. If it attaches to an ismun or a harfun, ismun or harfun, what is the position? Jarun. If it attaches to a fi'lun, nasbun. Okay? Now, I'm going to repeat that, but we're going to break each one down. If it attaches to an ismun, Noor, we said the status is going to be what? Jarun. If it attaches to an ismun, its position is going to be Jarun. Why, Mashal? Because it is playing the role of a mudafun ilayhi. Allahu Akbar. Good. And if it attaches to a harfun, Abdurrahman, then the position of the pronoun is going to be that of jarun, because it was preceded by a harfu jar, right? And grant, if it attaches to a fi'lun, the position of the pronoun will be that of mansubun or nasbun, because it is playing the role of maf'ulun bihi, which is the direct object of the verb. Told you guys it was easy.
It also says if the pronoun becomes, then we'll also say where it becomes in a form of period.
No, it's fine. As long as you understand the phrasing, right? I'm just very specific about it when I'm teaching it, so you understand that, right? So really quickly, look at the I. Let's go back to the I, right? Because the I is the one where it changes, okay? Now, if you want to say my pen, the my, which is a pronoun, is attaching to an ismun, a fi'lun, or harfun? Ismun, right? If it attaches to an ismun, what type of construction do we have? Idafa construction, which is going to be jarun, right? So you're going to use the yeah. So you're going to say qala mi, kitabi, ghurfa ti. Clear? Makes sense? Okay. If the I is attaching to a harfun, right? Then also you're going to use the ya. Clear? Confuse you guys with this one, but you'll say like, what are your huruf al-jar that you took? Right, yeah. So remember I said ala is gonna sound a little different because the a turns into a ya.
So fi?
All of them. Ala becomes alayya. Fi becomes fiyya. Min becomes minni. Right? But essentially what you're doing is you're adding a ya. Okay? You're adding a ya. What you're essentially doing is you're adding a ya. Fi, you're adding an ya. Fi, ya. Okay? Anni, to pronounce it, you have to anni. Clear? But essentially what you're doing is you're adding a ya, right? Like the lam. Did I mention the lam is a harfu jar? The lam mutakasra? Someone says no, someone says yes. Okay. Okay. Lam, one of the things that it's used, lam with a kasra, it shows possession, right? So you could say li, like to indicate something belongs to you. You could say li. Clear?
You could say during one class that we, maybe it was la, is used for emphasis. How would you make that distinction?
Oh, that's when, I don't know if I said that, but that's when lam is attached to lam is attached to a verb. I don't remember the context in which I said it. Huh? Okay, and then the last one was the nasb one, right? The nasb one, which you use the noon ya. The noon ya, right? And this is where, like, let's say you want to say Muhammad hit me. You want to say Muhammad hit me. You're not going to say Daraba Muhammadun ana. You're not going to say Daraba Muhammadun ana. You would not say that. Rather, you would attach the I to the verb. So Grant, you would say Darab. Good. Darabani Muhammadun. Darabani Muhammadun. Why did he use the noon ya as opposed to just the ya? Because you use the noon ya when your pronoun is going to be in a position of nasbun. And over here it's the maf'ulun bih. Good?
Quick question.
Go ahead. No. Darabani. I'm not stretching the ba, there's just a one fatha on it. Darabani.
For the example with a house, if it's min, what did you say?
It becomes minni.
Minni.
Yeah. Because you have to put a shadda on the noon. That's the only way to pronounce that. Yeah. If you don't, you end up with
Mini.
Yeah, mini. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Really quickly, it says drill one. Drill one. Translate the following pronouns to English. Drill one. Grant. Entuma. You two, both of you. Good. You two or both of you. Isa. Hunna. They all female. They all female. Noor. 3. Antunna. You all female. Good. You all female. 4. Michelle. Anta. Be more specific. You male. Good. 5. DJ. Anna. I. Saad. 6. Hum. They. Good. Siraj. 7. Nahnu.
We.
Joseph. 8. Huwa.
He.
9. Malik. Antum. You guys, all of you. 10. Hiya. Tayyib. She, and technically also it. She and it, if the it is feminine, right? And then the same thing could have been said about 8. 8 is who and huwa, he and it. Clear? 11, Amira. Anti, you female. Anti, you female. Samira. 12, huma. How many? Michelle, huh? No. Michelle? Yeah, they both of them. Both of them. Yeah, they both. Good. You know what? Save some time for what?
Quiz.
Drill 12. Drill 12. Translate the following pronouns to Arabic. Right? Both the independent and attached version. طيب. I. What is the independent? Ana. What is the attached?
E or ni.
Yeah. E or ni. E or ni. Good. 2. In chat, it says he. Independent is huwa. And the attached is who, or technically also he, right? But it's the same one. Who or he. Noor, all of you male. Independent is antum, and attached is kum. Guys, keep in your mind, just to make things easy, right? When we talk about attached pronouns, third person, your main letter is ha. Your main letter is ha. Okay, everything revolves around ha. Second person, your main letter is kaf. Okay, ha and kaf. That's it. Okay, that's everything revolves around that. We were on 4. Yes, Isa 4. They male, independent. Hum attached. Hum as well. Salma, both of us, independent. Nahnu, good. Both of us or all of us, doesn't matter. 2 or 3, right? What about attached, Salma? Na, good. Noon alif. Siraj, 6. They female. Independent.
Antunna.
They, it's third person.
Oh, sorry. Hunna.
Hunna, and attached would be?
That should be.
It's the same thing.
Oh, hunna.
Hunna, good. Joseph, both of them, male. Independent.
Huma.
Both of them.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Antuma.
Them, it's third person.
Huma?
Yeah, huma.
Oh, yeah, Huma, yeah.
Huma, and attached would be?
Huma.
Huma as well. All of you, Khadija, female, all of you, female.
Antunna.
Antunna, and attached would be?
Kunna.
Kunna, good. Abdurrahman, 9, says we, independent. Nahnu, and attached. Na, good. Muhammad Mardini, both of you male, independent. Antuma, attached. Kuma, good. Malik, you female, independent. Anti, attached. Ki, good. Sa'd, 12, it says it, independent. Huwa or hiya. Hear that, guys? Huwa or hiya, depending on what that it is. And attached would be who or ha. Good. Amira, 13, it says she. Hiya, attached. Ha. Michelle, both of you female. Antuma, attached. Kuma, good. Insha, 15, you male. Anta, attached. Ka. Noor, 16, both of them female, independent. Huma, and attached. Huma. Remember, guys, third person, your key letter is what? Ha. Second person, your key letter is kaf. Guys, look. See if you guys gave me a few more minutes. Look at that. Drill 3, chapter 5. Done. Killing me.
What's the attached for it again?
For what?
It's IT.
I'm not hearing.
It.
If the
Who?
it, yeah, if the it is male, then who? If the it is female, then ha. No. I have yet to determine that. I might come in and this is more for me than it is for you. I might come in and do drill 3 tomorrow just so I can say I finished chapter 4. 4 weeks, 4 chapters. Okay, but that's it. We're basically done with chapter 4, guys. That's why I need you to memorize the vocab, because chapter 5 I'm gonna run. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.